Alright, let's start then on this video creating the bandage of the character. For this character, first what we'll need to create are a couple of guides, which can be made using NAM standard or any other brush, as long as it is thin. Enable lazy mouse for a moment, and that's it. You can use references from the internet. I don't know, like boxers tend to use bandages, and they'll give you an idea of how the bandages should be. The idea with this lazy mouse is to generate the guides of the different layers of the bandage. We have to modify the thickness on some areas, for instance, between the fingers, because we know the bandages get compressed on that area. The bandages flow in different directions. They vary depending on the area they go around. Around the thumb, for instance. Alright, this one connects over here, and let's go around this way. Obviously, we also need to make sure we can see the folds of the fingers. Alright, once we get these directions defined, we'll use the brush clay buildup for creating the surface of the bandages. This brush, I like it a lot because it's got a pattern by default. And what we'll do is to make some lines towards the direction of the bandages. As you can see, it's already got kind of a pattern. In that way, it doesn't look so flat. Alright, one thing we can do, when we reach these corners on these edges, and we don't want the brushes, strokes to go beyond, we can use masks. Let's mask this area. And over here, this way, we avoid the strokes to go beyond the limits. They should keep, otherwise it would look ugly. Over here on this step, what we'll need is clay buildup and a lot of masks, because we'll need to protect lots of areas. For instance, up here, protect it. And carry on with the strokes. Once we have the lines using clay buildup, we'll use them standard for outlining the edges of the bandage. This way, what we'll achieve is to generate some height. We've already got the pattern we've created using clay buildup, but we need some bandages to look higher than others. And this damn standard applied on the borders will help us doing it. A little over here. And let's go all around. And that way, we simply repeat those steps with the rest of the bandage. Mask this. Use clay buildup for generating the pattern. And finally, use them standard in order to mark the borders of the bandage. Over here, we simply follow the strokes previously made with Dam Standard in order to know what's the direction of the strokes with clay. Over here on the edges, we'll need to make several strokes, since at the moment it looks too flat. And we need to make some prominent volumes, some folds. Let's apply some more over here. For instance here, this edge is not so flat anymore. It's already got some reliefs. And we have to do that, especially on the borders, which is where it'll be more prominent. Alright, let's follow the direction of this bandage, for instance. On the fingers, there is a difference. We won't make the strokes only towards one direction, but, well, make them in diagonal. We know it's compressed in the middle, and what we do is basically to open the strokes towards the borders. Obviously, the same thing inside, close together in the middle and separated on the borders. Continue adding strokes and changing the direction of the strokes. Mask this area and continue with the strokes. Also over here, we can even use two different directions over here. And for the last step, what we'll do is generate some kind of ends. Let's use masks for protecting certain parts of the bandages, and by using move, what we'll do is to hide certain parts of the bandage behind the others. For instance, over here we have to hide a bit this bandage, because the idea is to avoid the bandage to look constant. What I mean is that the border shouldn't look too even. We need to make the corners look like one part of the bandage. Go to the back behind the other one. Let's adjust a bit this bandage here. It's kind of out of place over the hand. Hide this one here. And yeah, a bit more. Alright, this is the final result. For each line, we've applied the same process and we have already got our first bandage. Hope you liked the video, and I'd like to say I'll see you in the next video, but here is your assignment. Applying the same technique, you'll have to make the bandage of the right hand and the bandage placed on the arm. It's exactly the same technique, but what may vary is the thickness of the strokes. This is it for the time being. See you then on the next video.